Draw 7 TV, welcome back to another video and to our YouTube page. Another great tabletop match is set for you. Andrew, how are you?
I'm doing great. Having me back on for a third time.
And what's weird is this is you and I playing, so This is going to be a little different.
Hey, you're in the red, I'm in the blue, right?
That's right. It's the old Halo red versus blue situation going on.
I could go on for a while about that.
You really could. Yeah, let's just move on. All right, so you're playing Drampa Garb with an Espeon GX tech.
Yeah, I'm starting to see how those decks are being played now. They're actually playing just a 1-1 line of the Espeon.
Well, I've always thought, why not?
Right.
It goes. It makes sense.
And I think you get access to Divide as well. It's a cool GX attack to use as well as, as you see with Buzzwole. It's Psychic's more prominent now.
Yeah,
Psychic
for sure.
Weakness is more prominent, I should say.
Yeah, definitely, and that Divide GX, especially in the meta now, is so good.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so on my side, I'm playing a Buzzwole Lycanroc GX deck, an idea that I had a little while ago, and I really like Buzzwole. I really like Bloodthirsty Eyes Lycanroc, and so why not throw them together with a Zoroark GX tech?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Like seeing some good draw support from Zoroark now these days. Different decks are trying to run him in different styles. I like that.
Such a good card, and it's a good attacker as well. All right, so Buzzwole against Drampa. Here we go. You set that beautiful Lele down on the bench, and I would assume you're searching for Bridget.
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to get as many, just some Trubbish out, maybe even an Eevee or another Drampa. I think I'm hoping for an Eevee to get evolved into Espeon, just so I can hopefully retreat and get some Psychic Weakness going.
What's scary for me is not only am I weak to Psychic, but I play a lot of items in this deck, which it is what it is. I can't really avoid it, but that's a little bit scary looking at the Trubbishes there on the board. So you get 2 Trubbish down and an Eevee, and so you're set up here. Now all you need is a Psychic Energy to get that Espeon GX out.
Yeah, and I can't remember if I had Espeon in my hand or not. That's one that's always unfortunate with the 1-1 line, is when you have it in hand, it's hard to, you can't use that ability.
That happens all the time with my Garbodor GX deck. I always have the Eevee and the Sylveon in hand. It's very annoying. And as you notice, I do have a Regirock EX on the bench, and what that allows my Pokemon, at least my fighting Pokemon, to gain 10 extra damage with the attack, so that's nice. All right, so you attach the energy there on the Drampa, and you pass. I get the Zorua down, and I think here, Andrew, I want to hopefully bridge it and get maybe another Buzzwole on the bench. I definitely want to get a Rockruff out there,
get some puppers out there, just so you can get the Bloodthirsty Eyes going later, hopefully before Garbotoxin becomes active.
Definitely. That's something else that's really scary about this matchup as well for me. I do play 3 Field Blowers, though, so which may be overkill, but I'm like, hey, I rely on these abilities so much.
I think that's a fair amount of Field Blowers to play, especially if Garbotoxin is going to be around for a while. You definitely want to be able to shut that off.
Definitely, yeah. All right, so I get that Lele on the board and looking for Bridget here, I'm assuming. And so apparently now that I think about it, I think the Bridget, as with my luck, was prized.
Prized, of course. Bridget in her natural habitat.
That's right. But luckily, though, I did get that Zorua down, so now all I really need is 1 Rockruff and have that extra bench spot open, so not necessarily in a bad position.
I think you're doing pretty well right now. I mean, you're going to be hitting this Drampa for weakness, which is really good, and then I think you're going to be able to spread at least to the Eevee. So that'd be pretty good. What's
your opinion on Buzzwole? Do you like Buzzwole, or are you with the hype with it, or are you, not think it's very good?
You know, Matt, I don't know how I feel about Buzzwole right now.
Sure.
I think London's going to be very telling, just seeing how it gets used. Landorus was very good.
Yes.
But that in a big basics format. But in this format, I think its potential is still waiting to be seen.
Sure.
I think it's going to be something we just have to keep our eye on.
Definitely. I get that Parallel City down. You get the Lele out of there, so that limits your bench. Which I wasn't sure which stadium card to run in this deck, but I figured, you know what? Why not Parallel City? It's got that disruption aspect, and I like the other side of the card as well.
Yeah, especially better to play it before you start spreading, because then I can be like, well, there's 30 damage. I'm just going to take it off the field. So now I don't have a choice.
Exactly.
Put it wherever you want now.
And I do have that Rockruff on the bench there, so that turn actually turned out pretty well for me. So I'm with the Fighting Fairy Belt and obviously the weakness side of things. Let's see, I got 140 damage on the Drampa, and I put 30 on that Eevee.
Yeah,
there.
You also have the Regirock there, too, adding damage.
Yeah, exactly. So really, that's something about Buzzwole I really like with that first attack, is that damage can add up really fast, and then you can max potion that energy away later on.
Yeah, I do hit the Field Blower here. I was hoping to discard more items, but I think you're seeing where the Fury Belt may soften it up a little bit. I don't think I'm able to take a knockout yet, because that 190 is a pain.
That 190, yeah, that's something else I really, really like about the card.
Leaves Drampa 10 short with Choice Span, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I think that just makes Buzzwole just a better contender in this matchup.
It really does. That 190, though, for my opponent hitting that can be very annoying.
Yeah, oh my gosh, absolutely.
All right, so
I believe I'm going to get an N. I think that's why I turned the deck sideways, just to show that, I'm not done yet. Yep, I do get the N off here. It looks like you're pretty well set up, though, seeing how you have a Rockruff ready to get out later. The one strong energy is going to give you the option to spread, which is really nice. And I think, actually, you're really set up to take multiple prizes if I can't get this EV evolved.
Well, and I wanted to run an Espeon and X in this deck as well because, I mean, I think it makes sense, you know, for this deck, but I didn't have the room. I may take that Regirock out, though, and put the Espeon in its place.
You know what else I've seen as far as stadiums? I forgot. I just remember this. Po-Town has been something I've been seeing in this deck, too. Not this particular deck, but like with Buzzwole, I've been seeing Po-Town adding more damage on. Sure.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Maybe a build I will test out.
Sure, yeah, definitely. It's always better to put more damage on.
So you got that Trashlanche set up on the bench, which is scary. I mean, especially I'm weak to you, and I'm also using a lot of items, so that's really scary. There's the Po-Town out now.
Po-Town,
yeah.
I think I'm just hoping to get some chip damage on the impending Zoroark. Because that thing is frustrating in this matchup because it does hit resistance for Psychic because of the Dark type. So I can't... Oh, wait, yeah. So that's the one's going to be resisting my damage.
Yeah, so you do 180 there, which is scary, so 10 left. I do play Max Potion in this build. I play 2 of those. So it would be great if I could do that right now. I don't remember pulling that off, but...
yeah, Max Potion would be clutch for you right now, just to get all that energy, all that. Yeah, and actually, you only have 1 energy cost, so
exactly.
You just make the damage off, and then putting strong energy on, and
it's fine with me. Apparently, though, I put that DCE down, getting rid of 3 energies. I do only run 5 of the fighting in this deck. Putting that DCE down. So here's something else I really like about Zoroark. Right, it's a really good attacker.
Yeah.
So in this deck, I can use it as a backup attacker in a lot of situations, and I really like that about the card. Not only for its draw. I'm curious to see if I have access to that Zoroark. And something else on your side of the board we haven't mentioned yet is no Espeon GX.
Oh, yeah. I believe either it was prized or I could not get it out yet.
And you're running that 1-1 line, is that right?
Yeah, that's usually what people have been seeing. You got to be careful if you're running too much. Like if I ran a 2-2 line, wouldn't necessarily help me in every matchup, but... It definitely you definitely want to draw more Garbodors and different other cards than trying to draw the Espeon.
Definitely. So that Zoroark GX goes on the board. The beautiful full art of Zoroark. Zoroark's becoming one of my favorite Pokemon. I've always really liked Zoroark, but now that it's actually got another great card, I'm like, okay, I think it's definitely one of my favorite Pokemon in the game.
Yeah, it's actually been coming to see more play in recent years. We saw at Internets. The whole deck itself was taken by. Andrew Mahone, I believe, took it 7th place at the Intercontinents.
Yeah, and the Zoroark Break is really cool. I wish I could find a place for that in this deck, but just no room. So, as you see there, I actually take 3 prizes off of that attack. So, something that I was planning. So, at this point now, Buzzwole has done its job. I don't care if it goes away this next turn.
Yeah, you definitely have gotten what you need out of it. It's scary for me because I need 3 more prizes.
Sure.
So... I have a huge comeback to make here. I think I'm trying to get Garbotoxin out just to hopefully prevent the bloodthirsty eyes. But it all depends if I can actually get it out. Because just more of that hand away.
Garbotoxin's so very, very good. So much better than Muck, at least in my opinion. Anyhow.
Yeah, you do have to be careful with it though, because you can if you're not careful with it, you can end up locking yourself out of the game.
Sure. I know we were doing a few practice games, not practice, but just playing,
warming up,
and made that mistake.
It was put out too early.
Yeah,
premature Garbotoxin can definitely hurt you.
And you get so excited about putting that, out that you can forget that. Wait a minute, it can screw me over as well. So you get that energy down on the Trashlanche. You do get the choice band down there, so you're going to be hitting for big numbers, although you're hitting for weakness anyway. And Marshadow, interesting inclusion into the deck.
Yeah, so I got this idea from there's an article in the Charizard Lands Manager, Wambolt, who took actually the Drampa Garbodor deck to the local ARG tournament in St. Louis, and he played one copy of Marshadow, and it makes sense to me. It's basically like it's not exactly like Shaman, but it's the same idea. Where
Sure.
like I don't think I hit what I needed to there, so I decided to play the Marshadow to get a new hand, and you're disrupting your opponent at the same time. So you saw there, I didn't get the Garbotox in the beginning, but now that I played the Marshadow, it's actually able to draw into it.
It's very cool. Yeah, I'm playing around with that on PTCGO a lot as well, and I like it. It's an interesting idea.
Yeah, it works also better. Like once you have your deck thinned out a little bit more too, the higher chances of you drawing the cards you need.
Sure.
Really, you get what you need out of it.
So I need to put 2 more Pokemon out here to hit 120, a knockout on that Trashalanche.
Perfect numbers.
yeah, and that's something else I like about Zoroark is it does do that 120, 150 with the Choice Band, 170 with the Kukui, knocking out those Lele's. Of course, not a lot of lists playing Kukui right now, although I really like Kukui. Just not seeing a lot of it in play. As you noticed there, I do set the Lele down. I obviously can't use the ability, but I don't really care at this
just
point.
Want to hit numbers.
I just need to hit the numbers.
Yeah, I'm kind of in a weird spot because I don't have a way to return that knockout. I don't have a Trubbish on the bench,
Right.
so I'm not going to be able to get another Trashlands out, which is a little unfortunate, but I mean, at least I got something out.
Yeah, so, I mean, you could possibly get another Drampa out this next turn, knock that DCE off. I mean, there are other things that are available to you. So I get another Rockruff on the bench, and that was actually something else about this game that was a little bit disappointing up to this point, is I've not been able to use Lycanroc at all.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that being an issue with this build. Sometimes I just don't see Lycanrocs ever. So,
or when you need them, at least.
Or when I need them, exactly. Although Bloodthirsty Eyes is just such a cool ability.
Yeah.
So here we are, 120, knocking out that Garbodor, and here we go. Let's see what you can muster up on this turn.
So, I'm just trying to get these out of my hand, because I believe I'm either going to play Sycamore or an N. I think I see an N in hand, but I can't remember if I have a Sycamore. Okay, I do. But I figured, hey, might as well just have another Floatstone out, just so if you play Field Blower, you have to sort of pick, do I want the Garbotoxin and the Potown gone, or do I want both Field Blowers gone? I'm not completely out of things on my side.
Right, definitely.
But yeah, I need to play something to do an attack with, because I have nothing right now, and I do see there's a Trubbish that hits the bench. That'll be nice for next turn. Don't know if I can do anything past that.
Yeah.
I'm in a little bit of a tough spot over here.
And I believe you have an energy in hand, so
yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if you put that energy down on the Trubbish, which I would assume you would.
Yeah, I think I have an Ultra Ball too, so I'm thinking about what's in my deck that can actually help me at this point.
Sure.
Because Eevee's gone. So.
Right. Yeah, not seeing that Espeon really does hurt. Even with just the confusion aspect of it, it's so good. Showing my hand off there, I have Fighting Energy and a Floatstone there, which, what was interesting, Andrew, before this match, I realized, wait a minute, I'm not playing any Floatstones in this list, which my rule is I always have 2 in my deck because I always typically need one in a match.
2's always a really good number, 2 to have.
Yeah, and it's very annoying not having it and realizing, wait a minute, I don't have a Floatstone in here.
Yeah, especially like when you should have that terrible start.
Yeah.
Like the Ringer restart or something,
awful.
Or even the Regirock would be pretty rough.
Yeah, with that 3 retreat cost.
Yeah.
All right, so still shuffling through the deck there, or through your hand rather, trying to figure out exactly what to place down here. You may not want to put that energy down and give me access to knowing you have an energy, but at the same rate, if I end you next turn, that could also spell bad as well. So you do place the energy down, and you bring up the Marshadow. I
think my thought process here is that it's either you're going to Guzma something, but you don't have obviously I don't know you have a float stone.
Sure.
I was thinking, okay, you can take the knockout on the Marshadow. And I didn't want you to take out Garbotoxin, and I definitely need to step a Trashalands for next turn.
And I can't trade here, which really stinks. So I do take the knockout there. Got a Sycamore off of the prizes, which will be nice for next turn.
Looks like I top decked the Garbotoxin, which was really nice. But what's unfortunate here is that I don't think I can knock you out yet. I think I'm 10 short because of the 20 resistance.
Right.
And if I can't knock you out, basically you can just win.
Yeah, that's game, because I'm hitting for 120, which is knocking either of your Pokemon out there.
This is a really weird place for me, because I'm like, well, what do I have that can actually withstand a Righteous Beating?
So, how many Drampa do you run in the list?
2 Drampa.
Okay. So, that could be a possibility as well.
Yeah. The fear also is that if you can get a Lycanroc out...
Sure, then it's not going to matter either way.
Yeah.
Well, and that's something that I want to do with the deck is I want to be able to control the board in that way. I think the fear of knowing Bloodthirsty Eyes can come out at any moment, even though you do have Garbotoxin active, I in the back of my mind I know, okay, we can actually do something with this and make it exciting. So, interesting enough, you bring out the Espeon EX, and I can't one-shot that no matter what I try to do. Yeah, I mean, at all.
Yeah,
this next turn.
What I'm thinking is, because I still have Potown out, that I'm just going to devolve and try to soften up that Zoroark as much as I can.
Sure, yeah.
So it's almost a desperation play, because I figure you're just going to revolve it, but then you could have to take the 30 from the Potown, which puts me at better numbers.
Sure.
However, I'm not sure if you could just get out a Lycanroc and just Dangerous Rogue or not.
Yeah, so that is actually something else that I love about this deck is that GX attack on the Lycanroc is very, very good. A lot of folks seem to forget about that when it's sitting on the bench. All right, there's the Sycamore. I did have that Mallow. I do play 1 Mallow in this list. It's come in more clutch than I would have expected. I just kind of like having it in there. There's the De-Evolve Spray. I play 2 of those in this list for the Lycanrocs. I'm not necessarily sold on that, but it has come in clutch a few games, so I'm back and forth.
Yeah, you
got to
find the Lycanrocs first to evolve them.
Yeah, I know that's been the issue here. Okay, so here's the Fuel Blower. Let's see if I can trade and find one, which would be bonkers right now.
Yeah.
There's the trade.
So it looks like I see a Guzma.
I believe an Acerola maybe as well. So I did not find the Lycanroc, which really hurts. But I am at a prize advantage here, so I'm figuring, well, even if you knock out this Zoroark next turn, that's okay.
Yeah.
I still have opportunities.
That Guzma in hand, too, will definitely serve you well. If you're right, just beating this turn. Then actually, I think the Rockruff can take a knockout on Espeon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I know we talked about that after the match, and I didn't even realize that. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that was actually one thing that crossed my mind. I was like, oh, nuts! It's gonna the little dog can knock me out.
That's hilarious. I wish I would have taken advantage of that, but. So I think here I'm just going to, I guess, just attack. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else I can do at this point with the cards in hand, and let's see where you can go from here.
So. I don't remember how this goes. I definitely am going to retreat the Espeon because I can't leave that in the active anymore.
Yeah, because it's definitely...
This is me just double-checking the numbers here because, that previous turn being 10 short really hurt. It would have been nice just to put Garbodor out in the active and just take a knockout and not have to worry about putting Espeon out.
Sure, yeah.
But, got to do what you got to do, right?
Makes sense. I don't know which cards you have in hand.
Yeah, I think maybe one of them is in... Oh, I have the Lusamine.
Lusamine, okay.
So, using this to get my Potowns back out, and then an end for next turn.
So, I really like Lusamine. I don't see its place index just yet.
Yeah.
But I think it will be good eventually.
I find it good in Garbodor. Because it's a deck that commonly runs out of steam very quickly.
Well, I was thinking about the Gyarados deck and expanded now with Team Magma's Secret Base.
Aha.
That could be a big thing because
resources.
Yeah, I know a lot of times that was always an issue with Secret Base getting them out, or getting them discarded, so on and so forth. So there is the Potown there.
I think I'm mostly trying to guarantee draw support for next turn.
Sure.
Too, because I think my hand is pretty dead at this point.
The only other issue you're having now is that Zoroark's taking a knockout on anything.
Yeah, but I do have the knockout once I retreat into the Garbodor. The problem is Guzma. Really hurts. But it looks like I am just going to...
But again, I got to find that Lycanroc, so maybe he'll show up just in time.
Yeah.
All right, so knockout there on Zoroark. That's really a big loss for me. Luckily, I have that Floatstone on that Regirock, and another strong energy there. And that's another card right now that I think is being underlooked for fighting and just in general. It's so good.
Yeah.
And one of the only special energy cards left over. All right, so let's see what I decide to grab here. If only I had discarded Lycanroc earlier in the game, that'd be nice. So grab the Buzzwole, which this actually may be a risk since you do hit me for weakness. Oh, there's the Guzma. All right.
I actually
makes
think
sense.
that Espeon should have 150 on it. I think that because you did Righteous Beating, right? Oh wait, it's 20 times, right?
Yeah, 120.
Never mind.
So,
I'm
yeah.
thinking of the others are up to 30 times.
Yeah. No, you're good. And,
but either way, that's a well played match. You got the knockout there. I think you could have goosed it for the pupper. Maybe.
Sure.
Yeah, because you just had to hit. I think.
Yeah,
it does
very little.
Yeah. Oh, either way, well played, man.
Yeah. Hey, great match, Andrew. Yeah, and we'll be back with another match coming up here on the Draw 7 TV YouTube page very shortly. Oh, and looks like the Lycanrocs are prized.
Oh, both of them?
Wow. Did not. Yeah. Okay,
Wow.
that makes sense.
I do think this deck though has a very high potential though for London. We'll see that next week.
Yeah, I'm excited. Andrew, thanks a lot for stopping by yet again and being a mainstay on these videos. Yeah.
Appreciate it. I like being here.
And we'll see you all next time. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you so very much for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time here on Draw 7 TV.